Here we are in Photoshop. What we're going to do is adjust the perspective of this building quite extremely. You may not want to do it so extremely. That's the adjusted one, and there's the original. You can see the difference is quite extreme. So I'm just going to grab this layer. You can move your layers from here and just drag it into the bin at the bottom. Get rid of that layer, so we'll do it again really quick. First thing I do in Photoshop is I make sure I go to Edit Color Settings, and I make sure I'm working with the color settings I want. Adobe RGB is great. Okay, and coded forward 39 for Europe is perfect. Okay, it's for printing on a coded paper. Hit OK, and off we go. Rightio. First thing we're going to do, nice and quick, is we're going to choose the polygon lasso tool. I might magnify the image first. Polygon lasso tool, which is over here. And make sure it's the polygon one you're choosing for this, because it's a nice quick way to work. Okay. So I'm going to select the front of that image, that building, nice and quick. So going to click, click, click. I'm going to ignore the antenna on the top, okay, just for this example. It's going to work nice and quick as well for this example. Right, we have that selection going on. I'm going to copy and paste, edit, copy, edit, paste, okay, and when I do that I get a new layer automatically from a selection. So there's our new layer, absolutely great. We're going to choose the magic wand tool now, not the quick selection tool, but the magic wand tool here, and we're going to give it a tolerance maybe of about 50, that should be fine, okay. And I'm going to click on the blue sky because it's all the one color. I should be able to pick up that blue sky nice and easy. If you don't get it all, or if your contiguous is set off and you select, you might end up getting the windows as well. You see that? Just turn the contiguous on so you get a continuous selection. Click on the sky here and hit the backspace or the delete key, and we'll remove the bit of sky there. Okay. First thing we're going to do now is we're going to go to the transform tool. I'm just going to go Control T on the keyboard to transform, and we get this box around the image, which allows us to make the image smaller and bigger. But more importantly for us today, it allows us to hold down the Control key, and then we can pick up a corner and adjust, tweak the perspective, skew very, very slightly. Now, do not overdo this, or it'll be very, very obvious that you've corrected with Photoshop, rather than using a correct vantage point of the building and a correct lens for this kind of work. Okay, we're trying to keep the vertical on the right hand side reasonably vertical, and we're trying to just show a little bit more of the facade of the building. Okay, so as soon as you get a few tweaks going on there that you're happy with the correction that you're making, okay, you can hit the return key and it should render up your image. So once again, I'm going to do the same, a little bit more of a tweak. Okay, and I'm going to pull it down here at this corner here with the control key being held, of course. I'm not going to make it absolutely straight on because it'll look very, very wrong. That we should just about be able to get away with those corrections. So now I'm going to turn that layer off right down here. I'm going to turn this bottom layer back on, and I'm going to use the same polygon lasso tool to pick up the building. Okay, now make sure you're on the correct layer. See the way I'm on this correct layer before you copy and paste? Otherwise you'll be copying and pasting from the wrong layer and you won't get what you want. I'm going to choose the wand tool here again, and I'm going to click on the blue, remove the blue. Alright, that's great. Remember, Control D deselects. If you have a selection you don't want, just hit Control D. And Control click when you're on the move tool here. Control click lets you pick up whichever layer you want to work on. Now once again, Control T allows you transform the selection, and Control T is very important. Remember, you hold down the Control key to move down and move around these points on their own. Okay, now I'm a bit slow at this today, so give me a moment. I have to be careful with the right hand side of the building, because if we overdo it, it'll look very, very wrong indeed. The emphasis from this angle is at the right hand side. Now I'm going to pause this for a moment while I tweak this so I don't bore the hell out of you. So here we are with a reasonably okay looking building. We've probably gone too far, but just to show you, there's the original and there's the new one. Okay, so we'll live with that for the moment. I'm sure you guys can do it even better. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a background in. So let's have a quick look. We turn on the original layer. We go to the eyedropper tool here. You can just type I on the keyboard if you like, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to pick up a nice bright foreground color. And if you come down here, you'll see this little arrow that allows you to switch the foreground and background color. So switch them over, because every time you pick up a color, it automatically picks up the foreground color. So now with the eyedropper tool we choose again. So that should have given us two blues. We click on here, that's the foreground color, that's the background color, right? You can switch them by doing this, and you can pick up any two colors or any single color at a time you like, excuse me, by clicking on the eyedropper and choosing a color on the screen. Alright, we're going to make a new layer down here. There's the make a new layer icon there. The new layer for me has come to the top. It's going to turn everything else off so I can see it. And I'm going to choose the gradient tool. You'll see it over here. It may be different in your version of Photoshop. So that's a foreground color, that's a background color. If I drag with my gradient tool anywhere on the screen, I should get a gradient from the foreground color to the background color, okay? If you drag up the waves, you get the opposite direction, okay? Dark at the bottom, light at the top. All right? So I'm just going to turn my other two layers back on. I'm going to drag my sky layer down at the bottom, okay? And there, we should have the building with its own layer. Okay, that should do that.